What's up everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome to a new video. In this video I will tell you 3 projects that I personally will be investing in ahead of the next bull market. When that is, we'll leave that question for later, but these 3 projects I think have massive potential. They're still low market cap. I think they're great. So let's get right into it. All right, welcome back. Let's get right into it. The first project we'll talk about is Vela and the Vela token. So we'll first talk a little bit about what it is. I'll tell you why I think it's a great project to invest in. And then we'll also talk a little bit about some of the dangers of investing in it, because obviously it's not all great. There are definitely some things you should watch out for. So what is Vela? Nobody can say it better than they themselves. The Vela is basically a decentralized exchange, but for perpetual orders, all right? So for future trading, but then perpetuals. And how they describe themselves as Vela exchange is a permissionless, self-custody driven perpetual exchange built with innovative blockchain architecture to ensure fast transactions, secure trading, and extensibility into additional synthetic options and derivatives. All right, so I'm not going to read everything. I'm not going to bore you with it. What it essentially is a perpetual decentralized exchange, right? So you can actually trade on it. It's not like Uniswap. It really is for traders. And there are several things I think you should know, several things why I think Vela is great. But before we talk about that, you should know that Vela is actually launching tomorrow, February the 9th. So definitely check them out, see the platform, see if you like it, and perhaps that's another plus for why you should buy the Vela token. So there are 3 main reasons for why I think Vela is great and why I will be buying Vela. The first one is that it's built on Arbitrum, a huge new layer 2 network that is coming out, or it has already come out, but they also have a token launching. And right now there's quite a lot of hype around Arbitrum. It's a great network, there's a great narrative around it, and that also works in favor of the Vela token. Apart from that, Vela, as we talked about, it's a perpetual decentralized exchange, and right now there's also a narrative that these perps, as they call them on Twitter, for example, that there's a narrative around that which causes them to be relatively bullish. Some examples we can take a look at are GMX. As you can see, over the last year it has been massively bullish already. It's also one of the reasons why I don't think GMX is a great crypto anymore to invest in. But also the Gains network, as you can see, over the last year has been very, very bullish. And apart from that, Vela has already been bullish, but it's a newer crypto. It's only at a 27 million market cap. And as you can see, we have gone up, but not as much as the other decentralized exchanges. And lastly, and I would definitely recommend you to check out the white paper of Vela, because the idea might sound simple, but it's actually more difficult and there's more to it than you might think. They actually have, starting from the beginning, some great rewards. They have staking rewards on Vela, but they also have some other rewards, which I think is great. And they also have a portion of the tokens allocated to community rewards. So you can definitely expect challenges and campaigns in which you can actually earn Vela tokens, which is also a little bit of a danger, which we'll talk about in a moment. But for now, I think it's a plus. So there's one major thing you should look out for with Vela, and that is inflation in the supply. It's a relatively new token, as we just talked about. The distribution of the tokens is great, I think. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a very, very inflationary token. So there's inflation in the supply, causing your initial investment, if you invest right now, to be worth less basically over time. And as you can see, since it's a new token, there will actually, in the first few years, first 2 years, end of year 2023, end of year 2024, there will be a lot of inflation. So that's something to watch out for, and that's also why I will wait as long as I can with investing in Vela, all right, because of this inflation. Now, as we talked about earlier, the rewards are a way to actually be less affected by this, because if you actually stake your Vela, you will earn rewards you will earn rewards in a portion of the fees that will be made on the Vela exchange. So that way you can actually earn something with your Vela and you're less susceptible to the inflation. So that's something you should know, but it's also something you should watch out for. So that's Vela. Let's get on with the second project. So the second project is the router protocol and their route token. Again, we'll talk a little bit about what it is. I'll talk about why it is good, or at least why I think it's good. I'll show you their current project, and we'll talk a little bit about tokenomics as well. First thing I want you to take a look at is their fundraising. They have already raised over $4.5 million coming from huge venture capitals such as Maple Capital, but also some big exchanges like Coinbase Ventures, increasing the chance that at some point it will be listed on Coinbase, which is obviously great for the price at some point. Let's talk a little bit about what is Router Protocol. So very simply said, Router Protocol is a mechanism for cross-chain communication that will initially focus on a specific use case of bridging assets across multiple layer 1 and layer 2 networks by using stablecoins as a medium of value transfer. So yes, Router Protocol is a bridge. It's a bridge between networks, but also a bridge between assets, which is, I think, actually great. We'll talk about why that is great while we're showing you the platform, or while we're showing you the product. Also, essentially, eventually, they will enable the flow of arbitrary messages across chains securely and seamlessly, extending the composability of DeFi across various blockchains. So why I think Router Protocol is actually good is for 3 reasons. The first one is this funding. Alright, funding sometimes is not that great because it means that some venture capitals have bought it at a lower price. They can sell it they can sell it once it actually gets listed, which Router Protocol has already been listed and has already been online for 2 years. So that's one of the great things, that even though it has funding, it has already existed for quite some time. So we can assume that some route tokens have already been released, have already been sold. And apart from that, and then you can also see their platform, their product right here, which is called Voyager, which is not the greatest name, I think, for a product in crypto right now, but that doesn't matter. But you can actually see it's a working product. And you can also see it right here. You can basically bridge anything you want from any network to a different asset. So for example, you would be able to bridge USDT on the Polygon network to ape coins on the Binance BNB smart chain. And you can, for yourself, actually say what type of fee you would like to pay. So first of all, I think it's a great thing that they have a product, but second of all, it's a great product and it works. Now onto the tokenomics. Here you can see the distribution. You can pause the video if you want to. This is just a normal distribution. Quite a lot goes to the team, quite a lot goes to the private rounds and the seed rounds. But the good news is, what we talked about earlier as well, is that there really is not a big catch to this. Router Protocol still is at a low market cap of 35 million and already 51% of that supply is in circulation. So there's less inflation in the price and it's a great project. So that's project number 2, Router Protocol. Let's get on to the last project. So the last project we'll talk about is Stader and the SD token. Again, I'll tell you a little bit what it is, then we'll talk about some things you should watch out for. I'll tell you why I think it is a great coin and a great project. Basically everything you need to know, so let's get right into it. So quite a lot of you might know Stader since I made some videos on that, but Stader, essentially what it is, it's a liquid staking platform. So you can actually liquid stake your assets, or a lot of assets, not all of them, but quite a lot. And you get back a proof token and you can do all sorts of DeFi stuff with that. So it's a liquid staking platform right now available on Hedera, Polygon, Phantom, BNB, Terra 2.0 and Near. So now why do I think Stader is actually a great project? And therefore also why I think the SD token is one of the coins I will be investing in. Well, the main reason for that is that liquid staking right now, as I said with some of the other cryptos we covered, there's a narrative about liquid staking. It's relatively new. There are a lot of projects coming into the liquid staking industry, niche, narrative, and they're doing very well. And Stader actually has one of the best platforms for liquid staking. And that's why I think Stader, first of all, is great, but I think the SD token can actually grow together with that. Apart from that, the total value locked on Stader since the beginning of the year is growing exponentially. We were at 88 million at the beginning of the year, and now we're at around 188 million. So over 100% increase. You can also see over time that it has been very, very strong. So that's another reason for why I believe in Stader and also therefore in the SD token. Now, there are some things we need to talk about though, which are a little bit less fortunate. What is fortunate is that it's only at a 15 million market cap. What is a little bit less fortunate is that only 7% of the supply is in circulation. All right, that's a bad thing. There's probably going to be a lot of inflation. You can see that this is the token distribution, nothing wrong with that. Again, quite a lot to the team and advisors and the private sale, but also a lot of rewards, so that's not too bad either. But there is going to be a lot of inflation, and there has also been quite a lot of inflation since the inception of SD in March last year. So again, with the SD token as well, I would try to wait as long as possible before investing in that. In a time, a lot of things can change, but I have started with accumulating SD tokens already, as I think that low market cap does offset the negative effects from the low circulating supply a little bit. All right, well, with that, we've reached the end of this video. These are 3 coins, 3 projects that I will be investing in ahead of the bull market. What I usually do is I DCA in them, so I just buy a specific amount of dollars, in my case, per month, to kind of get a nice average price. If you have any questions about any of these projects, all the links will be down in the description, but you can also ask me down in the comments. For now, I want to thank you all for watching and listening. Subscribe if you think this video is valuable, and take care. Bye.